Hi everyone! So, I graduated last July. I already had the look sketched out for weeks because I just couldn't wait. I wanted to do a bunch of brown tones and kind of do a very glamorous nude look. And then coincidentally, I stumbled upon a pictorial about a week before I shot this video. And it basically showed me how to do the look that I already had in mind. So that worked out great. So, high school. High school was a very lengthy experience for me personally. All my Dutchies watching know this, but I'm going to explain the Dutch school system in case I have international viewers. So, Dutch kids go to elementary school at 4 years old, and generally they move on to high school at 12, 13 years old. I started elementary at 3 because my fourth birthday was the second day of school. And yet, I remained an early student for almost the rest of my entire school time. Our school system has divided high school into different levels. There are a bunch, but to make my speech more easy, I'm going to say that there are 3 levels. The range is considered easy, kinda hard, and pretty hard. I'll just call them A, B, and C. As a freshman, I did the kinda hard level, B. Freshman year was a lot of fun for me. I was cringy, but I got along with my classmates. So I remember freshman year as a great year. I moved on to the second year of high school, which is technically still freshman year because we hadn't been divided into our definitive levels yet. During second grade, I felt super duper bad for myself. I was one of those I'm not like other girls. I thought that I got bullied, but now looking back, I was fine. Everything was just fine. I didn't get bullied, I just didn't click with my classmates. That was all. But that October, my life changed forever and I didn't even know it. That sounds a bit dramatic, but it's true. But you guys will never truly understand because I'm going to leave out details for privacy reasons, my privacy and the people in my stories. That October, auditions were held for our musical. I auditioned for the dance part because I'm no good with acting, and back then singing was also a big no-no for me. But I'm a pretty good dancer. I took ballet since I was 4, and I had years of experience with different styles as well. And I was really passionate, so I thought I'd give it a go. I absolutely rocked the audition and I got a solo, but more importantly, I made a friend. As we were waiting for the audition to begin, she told me that she liked my socks. I clicked with her instantly, and over the months after that, we became inseparable. She introduced me to her friends as well, and I clicked with them. Keep in mind that at the time, I hated my own classmates because I didn't fit in, so friends were more than welcome. I dyed my hair for the first time that year. I went to my first concert. I was a die-hard One Direction fan. So everything worked out nicely. Except that that year was my chance to move up a school level. If I got good enough grades and stuff, I'd go to the C level school third grade. But I failed. So I did B third grade, which was absolutely fine because it was one of my favorite years in high school. Third grade. I was in the same class as my dear friend group and I got along with my classmates. And although I did hit some problems that year, looking back, it felt like a dream. We went on a school trip to Belgium, and I remember just having the time of my life with my nice friends and my nice classmates, and everything was fine. Fourth grade, however, didn't have any mercy for us. Me and the same friend group ended up together in the same class again, which was nice. But the new class was indescribable. I'm not sure if we were bullied or not, but I do know that our lives were pretty miserable that year. We did go on another school trip to Berlin this time, and although I didn't always get the chance to enjoy myself while we were there, I fell in love with the city, and frankly, I still am. It was June, I think. Our English teacher was kind of done with her lecture, but the hour wasn't done yet. After a few minutes, she said, "You know what? Let's go to the attic," which was totally a big deal because students weren't allowed in the attic. She took us there, and it was a strangely beautiful experience. She even took us to the roof on which no student had ever been before, or so the legend says. It was a beautiful view and a beautiful moment. Later that day, me and my two closest friends, Audition Girl and let's call the other one BB Girl, hung around the school for a bit like we did every day before going home. An alarm went off. Audition Girl asked if it was the air raid siren, and I said that if the city was being raided, we'd know. We went home. As I got home, my phone got spammed with messages, and a video showed me what was going on. The roof of the school was on fire. The very roof on which me and my classmates stood not 6 hours ago. I got on my bike again. I went back to school to see the fire. It was a huge moment, and the next 2 years we spent school in two different buildings, and it was a whole mess. Fifth grade. When you do B school, fifth grade is your senior year. By the way, A school is a 4-year education, B school goes on for 5, and C school goes for 6 years. Senior year! It's all very, very blurry in my memory, but I'll do my best to tell the story as clearly as I can. My friend group got split up in different classes, so that wasn't a great start. The girl who befriended me at the auditions got together with our mutual best friend. The girl who I deemed strongest of us ended up alone, and I got together with the most quiet friend of the group. The entire year, I felt kind of behind, but I remained this excessive confidence that all would be well. I remember it was November, and we had had our first exams. The months in which we prepared for these exams, I heard my classmates going on and on about how they didn't do any homework and how unprepared they were. I remember after the first exams, we all came out of the exam hall. My classmates asked each other how their exams went, and they were all excited and confident. When we got our grades back, I was at the bottom of my class. That moment, I realized that I was behind. Not just behind, I was totally screwed. A dark cloud of mental unhealth had been threatening me for a long time, and after the exams in November, the cloud settled on my mind, and I experienced my first major depression. I'm not gonna go too deep into that because it's inappropriate to the video, and honestly, I'm not ready to share the details with the world if I'll ever be ready. But one can imagine that if your studies are already going bad and your mental health suddenly has this huge deterioration, that the problems aren't gonna get any better. Fast forward a bit, it's now April, and I'm still very unprepared for my finals. After a good talk with my parents, I had two options: take the exam but risk failure, and actually also another risk that if I did make it, my grades wouldn't be good enough for me to move on to C school. My other option was not to take the exam and try again next year, which is what I did. But the school couldn't just have me stay home from May till September. So what they did was they kind of demoted me to 4th grade so I could retake some tests and redo 5th grade next year from a better starting point. I didn't feel any connection to this class just like I did in the 2nd grade, but there was something different among all the blonde-haired, blue-eyed boys. There was this one boy who got my attention. I didn't know what it was, he just felt familiar to me. I stared at him for a good 2 or 3 weeks until I realized why he was so familiar to me. At the school's annual Christmas dance, I wore my anime shoes and walked up to the guy wearing an anime hoodie to say hi and show off my shoes. And this was the guy. During PE, we had to run for a bit. Me and all the courage in my body decided to run alongside him. Don't I know you from somewhere? Yeah, from the party, right? He answered without skipping a beat. We became friends and he introduced me to his friends. Summer came and went. Senior year, again. This was a great year. I was dealt a great hand. I started the year off right with a huge friend group, kinda okay grades from last year, but most importantly, a clean slate. My friends from last year had graduated and moved on with their lives, most of them off to college. I kinda lost contact with the girls back then, but today I speak to most of them, which is nice. The school year started with a trip to Spain, which was really special because usually these school trips are much closer to home. We had the best time and I got along pretty well with almost everyone. I went to parties, which was new to me, and it awakened a whole new me, who I still kinda am, I think. I started this very YouTube channel that January, so a lot of this joy has actually been documented and shared. In February, I traveled again. The art seniors have this annual trip to Paris, so I went to Paris. I did my finals pretty good and I graduated. Our school typically threw two parties a year, the Christmas dance I had mentioned earlier, and a end of the year bash. By now, I had realized that the friend who introduced me to all these great people, well, I had a crush on him. And I had no idea what to do with that, especially since I spent the whole year telling him that I was gay. How was I supposed to know that you're not fully developed at 17? At the party, I talked to his best friend, a mutual friend of ours. I don't really remember how we got there, but the bottom line of the conversation was that he thought that I should go and shoot my shot, which I did. I threw myself at him, and now he's my boyfriend of 2 years, so that's great. If you want to go up the school level, that's possible. I did it. Basically, what happens is that you graduate, and then you have to take the last 2 years of the other level. So I started 5th grade again. Yes, I did indeed spend 3 years in 5th grade. It sucked a little bit in the beginning because I kind of lost my huge friend group in one go. I'm pretty sure that we were with about 20 people. And the year after that, I believe we were with 5 tops. My boyfriend had to retake 5th grade. So it was really nice actually that I got to spend another year with him in high school as sweethearts. I got really good grades that year, so technically I did amazing in 5th grade. Around March, COVID came, and you all know that story, so I'm just gonna skip the last few bits of 5th grade. Senior year, again. It was so weird and vague, and I barely remember anything, even though it literally just ended. I remember we had online school, and then IRL school, and then online school again, or whatever. I was pretty lonely the past year. My boyfriend had graduated, so I didn't see him at school anymore. The few people who moved on to see school with me all dropped out except for one. I still had him until like November, and that's when he dropped out as well. 3 months into the school year, and I was totally alone. Yet again, I didn't really connect with my classmates. I mean, sure, there were a few sweet kids who I could chit chat with sometimes, but most of the time I felt incredibly lonely and an outsider. I sat alone in lots of classes, which I'd done before, years ago. Heck, I did it without complaining. But the big difference is that now I know what I'm missing. I know it could be, but isn't. Anyways, I made my music video, I made some other art, which I'm pretty sure by now they threw away because I didn't get it back. I took my exams, I kind of graduated. I retook 2 of the exams because I could. I did better and graduated for real. And here we are, 19-year-old Mel with her 2 diplomas. Well, stay in school, kids, and take care.